Our last drawing tool is the Freehand tool, which is kind of the outlier because what we're typically doing is we're drafting or we're making something that's really precise, and the Freehand tool is anything but precise. But I will show you some tricks and things that we'll use the Freehand tool to create later on in the course. But I do want to just kind of introduce it to you. So the Freehand tool is kind of the wildest tool. The way it works, it's different than any of the other tools. You'll notice that to begin with, I don't have my axes attached to my cursor, so I can kind of go in any direction. So it's always kind of good to get yourself in a view where you're looking kind of down on the ground. The other thing that's kind of crazy about it is there's really no way to measure it, and there's no way to control it as you're going. It's kind of a free form tool. You're really just kind of drawing as you go, and it creates these kind of wild shapes, which are shapes that you'll definitely want to create at some point, but it's not a perfect tool, that's for sure. What you have to know about this tool is that as you're drawing, you do have to keep your finger on the left click button the entire time. This is one of the few tools that's unlike any of the others, where it actually needs you to hold on to it the whole time you're working. It is great though, because as you make these kind of wilder shapes, you can go ahead and make group, and you'll see that you can get this is a way to get the beginnings of something that's much more organic. Of course, as I'm using push-pull, it's still going to push-pull up into it's still going to push-pull up parallel from its originating face, but this is definitely a way to create a way more organic shape just right out the gate. So if you're going to do some sort of crazy curved wall or something like that, and you just wanted to kind of express that without being really precise, your Freehand tool is the way to go. There's a lot of other ways to use the Freehand tool effectively, but I would definitely practice it. One of the things that's hard to keep control of is the end point. So as I'm starting here, it's kind of hard to get to the end sometimes. I mean, I exaggerated that, but you might have to go in and actually just kind of connect it if you need to. But this shape works just like any other shape. I can still, once I've done it, I can still, whoops, let's cancel that. I accidentally hit make component, which we'll get into later. We're going to make it a group for now. I can still use some of these other tools. I can still use my arc tool off of the Freehand tool. I can still add to it using the line tool if I want to just connect this from here to here and straighten that out, and then lose this bit here. You can also use the Freehand tool. Go ahead and delete that. You can also use the Freehand tool to subtract from a shape you've already made. So if you have a straight line and you want to just take like a big chunk out of it, and you want it to be kind of a wild shape, you can do that. So go ahead and delete, and then I can go to my push-pull and push-pull this up into space. And as you can see, I mean, you can get these infinitely bizarre shapes using the Freehand tool.